Alrighty, so seeing we're leaving up the military installation, I want to start recording. But I figured I'd do a little, I can't recall, I think I did do one video since I've had my Volvo XC40 RECHARGE full electric. But didn't do too much, so I wanted to take some time out and maybe record a little traveling, go through some stuff. So since I've owned it, it's been about 6 months now, 7 months, coming up on 7 months, because I got it January 7th of this year. I think I have just shy of 10,000 miles, and I'll say I love it. Now, previous to this, I did own a Tesla, a 2021 Tesla Model 3 Standard Range Plus. Which I did love that too, but I wanted a SUV. I had a Volvo, I had the Volkswagen ID4 on order that I placed before I placed the order for the Tesla. The Tesla came in first. I ordered the all-wheel drive version of the Volkswagen, so it was one of the started production. Volkswagen started production on them later in the year. So originally I was supposed to get it in October, then they said November, then in December, then in January I got an email saying that good news, your vehicle has been assembled and it's en route. Well, it's on the way, but they didn't get no details. Did a little research, asking folks on the forum that got theirs and how long it took them. They said from the time they got that, it still took like 3 to 4 months. And I was growing impatient. Now, rewinding back a little bit, I sold the Model 3 and put a Model Y Performance on order. Was originally supposed to get it in like end of December, beginning of January, which my Model 3 came in sooner than what they had projected. But for some reason, I guess Tesla had got backed up. I think from when they did when they came out, was doing the thing with Hertz and what have you. I don't know, but my car got pushed back, and I was still like, okay, I like both the Volkswagen and the Tesla that I had on order, obviously. I had looked at the Volvo prior to ordering it, but I felt for the money that the Tesla and the Volkswagen gave a little bit more room, even though the Volvo had more horsepower than the Volkswagen. So the all-wheel drive Volkswagen had almost 300 horsepower, I think it was, as opposed to my Volvo has 402, and it's all-wheel drive. So it's not as much, not quite as much as the Tesla Model Y Performance that I had on order. But you know, I think a little bit more than the all-wheel drive Model Y. So I basically was like, I'll leave it up to fate, and whichever one come in first, that's the one I'm gonna go with. I started growing impatient because I, got an email from Tesla saying they pushed it back. That I was looking around February or March. Volkswagen just gave that, it's been assembled and you'll get it sometime. I went to Ford. They didn't have nothing electric on the lot, but come to find out later, the day that I was going to take delivery of my Volvo, that they did, but I'll get into that in a minute. So I happened to hit up the salesperson the sales agent that I had originally was looking at when I was looking at Volvo. Not originally, but I was looking at Volvo, was looking at ordering one, but decided not to go with it. She informed me that they had one that was coming in that somebody had ordered, that it was fully loaded, but the person canceled their order. I was like, okay, great. So if it's still available, I want to get it. Gave her my information over the phone, gave her a deposit over the phone using my debit card, and yeah. So going back to the morning of that I was going to pick it up, Ford called me. I was maybe not even 5 minutes away from the Volvo dealer, and the guy said, look, we got the Mustang Mach-E GT in white. The sales manager had one. They're willing to sell it to you. What time do you want to come down and take delivery? I informed him that I had already told my sales agent that I was on my way. Like, unless something happens before I get there, or by the time I get there, I was going to go with the Volvo, because I didn't want no botchy, no karma to come back on me. I believe in it, so I didn't want, I told my sales agent that I was coming to get it. Somebody else was trying to get it too. It was another sales agent that told their customer, like, hey, the car's going to be available. And yeah, so I was basically racing against time. And here we are. I took delivery. I got to it first. The manager was like, basically told my sales agent, like, look, whoever gets down here first, is going to buy the vehicle. So, and I already had a pre-approved cashier's check from my bank, so it was good to go. On January 19th, unfortunately, I had to go to one of the other military installations to meet up with a co-worker to pick up some equipment, and I was sitting in the light and was rear-ended. That being said, it was kind of sad. I was kind of sad because I loved my Volvo so much. Just after taking delivery and ownership of it, I realized it was bigger than what I thought when I was test driving it. So that worked out well. So I was a little sad, and then with everything with COVID and whatnot, the parts was on back order, because they was trying to, all the car manufacturers are having a hard enough time meeting demand for customers who wanted brand new cars, let alone getting parts for current year vehicles, so I had to wait a little while. My car wound up waiting until, I think I turned it in on April 18th. They waited till they got the parts in, all the parts in, the majority of the parts in, the major parts that they needed. And they had it for a month. I got my car back. They got it April 18th. I got it back March 18th. So I've had it back a little over 2 months, coming up on 3 months. And it's been great. So I figured I'd do a video, talk about some of the things. When I first got my vehicle, first of all, let me back up. I love the over-the-air updates. So when I first got my vehicle, I did not have Apple CarPlay. The car is Google-based. It's great. You can say, hey, Google, and it'll tell you what it want to do, whether you want to say or navigate me to, and it'll navigate you or what have you and stuff, right? But recently we just got an update that now I can use Android, the Apple CarPlay, which to me is excellent. I'm not to say that Apple CarPlay is excellent, but I love using Apple CarPlay because I love using Waze. And I was using Waze before. I have my phone. I bought a accessory mount that I bought off of Amazon, I think it was. I can put the link to the description and below. And my phone sits up in eye level, and all I did, so since the phone was connected via Bluetooth, if I was streaming music or what have you, I can play Waze and have the screen on the phone and still hear whatever announcements are. So I still, still was using it. But to be able to connect in and have it on the screen, on my big screen, I love that. Now, it's not wireless like my Bluetooth, but it's fine. My other car, I have a 2016 Volkswagen Jetta GLI, which it doesn't have the wireless Apple CarPlay either, so it doesn't bother me because the phone is still charging. As far as range, I don't have a problem on range. I live on an island and I charge every night. I did do an experiment. I went like 2 or 3 days of just normal driving back and forth to work, but it was kind of skewed. I could have probably went almost 4 days before having to charge, but I had having to go to one of the installations to pick up some equipment and drop off some paperwork. So they kind of skewed my results while I'm having to charge. But other than that, it was great. It doesn't bother me, again, to live on the island. And I have a 220 outlet, the NEMA 1450 outlet in my garage from when I had my Tesla. I didn't buy the Tesla wall charger. I just had I bought the NEMA 1450 adapter. And it automatically changes, it converts from 110 to 220 when you plug it up. So that worked out well. My Volvo came with, I didn't have to buy an adapter. My Volvo came with the NEMA 1450 plug, and it came with the standard US 110 plug. So I just put on the adapter that came standard with the vehicle and was plugging up, charging up. I think it ranges about 30-35 miles an hour on the 220. So I've never had any range anxiety, because there's chargers all over the car, let you know on the map, you know. And then as you start getting low, it'll say that you're getting low. Do you want to navigate you to the closest charger? The teachers on. I know everybody's different. Some people get it, especially when you're going from an ICE car. You know, you're used to trying to go to full tank of gas, or at least down to a quarter of a tank, or whatever your tradition is, or you know what you normally do. However, me charging every night, just like with my cell phone, I know when I leave every day, no matter what comes up, if I have to run some errands or have to go somewhere to pick up equipment for work or ship stuff off for work, I'm going to have enough power to make that allow me to do all I need to do within the course of the day. Again, living on an island, you can't put a lot of miles on your car unless you like live near where you work and you don't have to run around the other various locations, similar to what I do every now and then for work. So again, so ownership has been great. The car is great. I just recently, you can see the video. I'll try to put it right here if I don't remember. That I just recently installed roof racks, aftermarket roof racks that I bought off of Amazon. I like them because it was all black and it matches the top of the Recharge Volvo. They're all black, no matter what color you get. They're all the top is black. So yeah, things have been great. I have not had any problems. Excuse me. Every now and then I've had maybe a little glitch, you know, but anything, you know, you can have a glitch with your ICE car or anything electronic with your cell phone, you know, just basically reboot or, you know, get out the car, restart it, or what have you, and it usually cleared it up. There's a couple of things that might have brought up errors that Volvo was able to take care of through software updates. So again, I love the fact that it took my car to tell me, okay, it's the update available. Do you want to do it now? It'll give you the details, what you're going to get with the update, and how long, if you decide to do it, how long you need to, you know, have it locked for. You know, it might say an hour, and you need an hour and a half. So if you got, let's say you're out and about, or even if you're at work, I've had times that it came up when I was at work. You know, it's like, okay, I'm at work, I'm not going nowhere. I can do the hour and a half, let it do its update, you know, or an hour, I can let it do its update. I think that's great. That they can resolve glitches like that. There's no maintenance. The Volvo does come, all the Recharge Volvos, no matter which trim you get, at least in the US market, come with a staggered wheels, so there's no tires to rotate. Yeah, you go through tires quicker, but you know, I think it has a nice stance, it has a nice ride. The only thing I am a little disappointed, I have not seen aftermarket companies come out with any aesthetics or performance stuff. So like, I would love to lower it a little bit. You know, the 20s on it I think sit nice. There is an aftermarket for a wheel spacer that'll push it out more even with the flush with the body fender. But I would like to lower it some. You know, I'm not trying to slam it. You know, it is an EV. I'm not trying to have it slam, but it would be nice to be able to have a suspension option, or even an air management option. There are some for the gas-powered Volvo version of my car, but just I have not found yet any coilovers or even just a sports spring solution. But I haven't checked in a while, so I'm saying this at the time of the video. The last time I checked, they hadn't had none yet. Acceleration is great in this car. 0 to 60, I think, is rated at like 4.2 seconds or something like that. For a dad wagon SUV, that's pretty great. I mean, it's some cars that don't do 4.2 seconds. So for SUV to get up in 4.2 seconds was awesome. I know the first time I test drove one, I didn't even look at the stat of how much horsepower it had. I knew it was all-wheel drive, and I punched it, and it took off. The back end sat down, and it went. I was like, this is great. So yeah, little I know. It's funny because the one I test drove was the same color that I have now, except it didn't have the appearance package, which mine has a little sport kit. But there was a black one in the showroom that I like, that had the all black interior, but it had the red carpet, which I thought was pretty neat. It was almost like a reddish orange. I was calling it signal orange, but man, I thought it was pretty nice. If I find that picture of it or video of it, I'll connect that here. Again, here it is, 6 months of ownership. Regardless of the accident, I still love this car. It's very comfortable. For a compact SUV, it's not very compact. It's very roomy. Had family here this month. It's the month of July 2022. Earlier this month, I had family here. We got 5 adults in the car with no problem. It was comfortable. There was another time it was 4 of us in there. We put the armrest down in the middle, and they were saying that they felt like, you know, they was in a bigger vehicle. I'm gonna do another video here soon because I have again, I mentioned I just put the roof rack on. I bought a basket too, just in case I ever, you know, need to throw something up top. You know, whether it's picking somebody up in the airport and they got more luggage than I anticipated, or what have you, just to give me a little bit more space. So anyway, I'm gonna get ready to end it here. Let me know what you think. Have you been thinking about getting a Volvo? I know that I was contemplating. I had always liked the Volvo XC40 when it first came out, just the gas version. When it came out, the electric version. At first, I was doing a lot of comparison to the Tesla. Like, the frunk isn't as big as the Tesla. Then I'm a diehard Volkswagen fan, so I was like, oh, I want to get the Volkswagen, even though the Volkswagen didn't have the frunk. You know, I didn't like that it had the drum brakes in the rear, little stuff, but I obviously was willing to go with the Volkswagen. Yes, Tesla has made a name for themselves, and they're like the benchmark now for all the electric cars. But a lot of manufacturers are building their EVs now and putting good stuff. You know, I've been watching the Hyundai and Kia, you know, like that Genesis one, that version that's coming out. Will I sell my Volvo and look at one of the other ones? I don't know. My Volvo has a nice height. When I ride my in-laws, they're a little older and shorter than I am. I'm not very tall, I'm 5'8", but it's easier for them to get in and out. It's easy for me to get in and out for the car. I mentioned my Jetta GLI I have. It's on air management system, but even if I raise it up, you know, just getting out of it, it seems like I'm sitting down into it and having to crawl out of it as I'm getting older in age. It's easier to get in and out of the Volvo, and I get a lot of looks, especially a lot of people. I think the color combination, you know, the red metallic, it's almost like a reddish orange, almost like a burgundy kind of cross. But in the sun, when it's nice and clean, the metallic flakes look good, with and the black trim complements it. I think, in my opinion, you know, even though my favorite color is white on a car. But yeah, I have grown to love my Volvo. But there's some other EVs out there. I highly encourage people to go out and look. Another one is the Volvo has the C40, so it's basically the same as my car, but the back end is a little bit more sporty. And from my understanding, I saw one not too far from where I live. I thought it looked real sporty, and it was in white, my favorite color. But from looking at some of the stuff online, the other content creators, they were saying that the headliner in the back part is a little less. So I guess if you're single, or if it's just you and your partner, you know, it's okay. You lose a little bit of trunk space because of the slope hatchback, but I think it's awesome. I think it looks awesome. If I was to get another one, I would consider getting the C40. For some reason, it's a little bit more. I don't know why. I don't know if it's because of the sportiness, but whatever. That would be an awesome alternative. So again, let me know what you think. Don't forget to like and subscribe. You know, don't cost you nothing to hit that like button. Give it a thumbs up and subscribe. Follow them. Let me know if you want more content, especially if you're considering a Volvo, and you got questions, or you want to know more information. I will gladly make more content. So let me know. Again, Mike G, bidding you aloha. Have a good evening. Cheers.